just when you thought it might be over, Liverpool go and throw another perler. Liverpool go and start work on another stellar, top class, young but already proven European starlet. We've got a few transfers and a few teams to talk about tonight. Hit the like button, subscribe. But Liverpool are moving on a whole different level. And I've got a theory as to why as well. I want to run this theory by you guys right here on my channel. So hit the like button, subscribe, bell notification, do all that stuff. But this news has come out today and I want to share it with you from L'Equipe that Liverpool are interested in Bradley Barcola, 22 years old from PSG. Now, it says that, however, it seems unlikely that the French club will let him go. I don't necessarily agree because there was a bit of friction towards the end of last season. There's always a way out. And let's be real, Liverpool are a bigger, more prestigious and better club than Paris Saint-Germain. They might be the best team in the world right now, but with what Liverpool have gone and purchased, they'll knock them out of the Champions League next year. They're a better team. This has also been corroborated and put out there by Fabrice Hawkins, who has said that it's going to cost a lot of money, but this could be a massive deal for Liverpool Football Club. A huge, huge deal indeed. Now, from my point of view and perspective, I've seen Fabrizio has already come out and said this is an alternative for Isak. I wouldn't even bet your money on that. I wouldn't even bet your money on that being true. Here we go. Isak to Liverpool. Up next, Barcola. We know that's coming. Every single rival knows that is on the cards. That is plausible, doable. It may happen. This has been a summer where we all wanted Liverpool to repeat the mistakes of the past, to not spend enough, to not buy enough, to not get the right quality. I wanted another Lambert. I wanted a Lambert that got Isak. I wanted a John Joe Shelby. They got Wirtz. They're going to sign someone spectacular. But imagine they don't get... This is the... Again, I keep using this phrase because I can't think of a better one. This is the element that I find sobering. This is what stops me in my tracks. This is where I wake up in a cold sweat at night. If they do fail Liverpool to get Alexander Isak, and by the way, the only way Liverpool fail, point blank, is if Newcastle fail to land the replacements. But that isn't Liverpool's failure. Liverpool have done everything they can until this point. They've courted the player. They've convinced the player. They've got the money lined up. We've seen tonight, Darwin Núñez is gone. The 40-odd million pound coming in. Luis Diaz is gone. That's why I think we should look at the Barcola thing. Sorry about my dog. Someone at my house. But that's why we should be looking at the Barcola thing. And I'm not trusting this right now that it's only going to be one of them. Because Liverpool have also been linked to a wide player most of the summer. But let's just say Liverpool can't get Alexander Isak. And they do then go, right, we've got Ekitike. We've got Gakpo that can play centrally. Let's pivot elsewhere. Barcola is so good. Sorry about the break in that. I literally had to go sort my dog out. He was going crazy at someone that came to my house. But Barcola, you pivot to him. What a player. What a player this young man is. And I know some people might think, well, PSG are a very good team. They don't want him. Why do we? And a lot of football fans have that train of thought. But it's a little bit of a horses for courses situation. And he may want first team football and can't get it at PSG because of Kvaratskhelia. Because of the brilliant form of Dembele. And of course, Doué and the season that he had. And that's why I think there is a genuine possibility for the right money that PSG let him go. And Liverpool already have the money to buy Alexander Isak, and they've just gone and sold other players. I think they want to balance the books because Liverpool are a very well-run club, but I don't think they necessarily need to. And this is the bit for me that shows that Liverpool's transfer plan is wild. Absolutely wild. The players they are pivoting to, it's like, oh my God, he's good as well. Oh, great. He's brilliant also. But the reason why I think Liverpool are doing this, and we've seen the news tonight of Manchester United looking at Carlos Baleba. I think there's some legs to that story. Šeško in. I rate, not everyone does, but I rate him. Cunha and Bumo. Man United are risking PSR issues. But I think the reason that we're doing it is the same reason that Liverpool and all the other teams are going big. That there is a chance here to create clear blue water for Liverpool between themselves and the rest of the pack. Or when I say rest of the pack, outside of City and Arsenal and Chelsea that will be in the top four, they can create some clear blue water. Football is changing. The money in football is increasing. Club World Cups and crazy lucrative pre- and post-season tours. Brands now putting more and more money into the game. Social media getting even bigger. Most of the people that own our clubs, FSG are one of them. They want at some point, FSG are going to want to make a return on their investment when they sell Liverpool or when they bring in investors and they take their cuts out. The same as Ineos and the Glazers. Whether you like that or not is kind of irrelevant. What the well-run clubs know, and when I say it's irrelevant, it's because it's here, it exists, and we can argue the merit of that. But the one thing FSG get right, in my view, is they know that to maximise their return, they need to make the team brilliant at football. So even if you're like me, and if it was plausible, I'd rather a very rich local, or it doesn't matter, local, international, but fan of the club that only cares about the team winning. That would be utopia. But most owners have ulterior, or at least adjacent motives. You see that, when it comes to Abu Dhabi, when you see it comes to PIF and Saudi, they're getting involved in Newcastle and boxing. Part of it is to promote their nation and tourism and to build bridges and to open avenues for more investment. So, yes, they want to make their teams brilliant at football and they want to be synonymous with winning, but there is a bigger agenda for them than just making a football team good. They're very different from the Roman Abramoviches who wanted a football team. He fell in love with Chelsea, and it was just his little darling. It wasn't about making money. It wasn't about growing his brands. It wasn't about tourism for Russia or anything along those lines. So football has changed in that way. And there's some massive things on the horizon. And Liverpool want to be part of it. And I think that's why Man United are reacting this summer the way we are. Even when the money isn't all there, it's almost a little bit of fake it till you make it for us financially. But I think what Liverpool were doing is looking at the situation and saying, we need to remain in the top four bare minimum. We need to be winning trophies. We've got to pick up. I think everyone is going to be more desperate than ever to win the Champions League. Because if you win it now, probably from this year, for the next 3 or 4, you're probably guaranteed a place in the Club World Cup, which I think will have even more money thrown at it next time. Even more money will go into it. That could be a pot, 3 or 4 weeks' work. 100, 120, 130, 140 million. Champions League money's always rising. The new TV deal money's going up. Again, the higher you finish, the more money that's there. And these clubs want money. The upside to this for fans when you're a fan of Liverpool is that the owners are now pumping more in. You're getting better players. You'll get better football. You'll win more. Better for the history of your club. But Barcola, I think he'd be brilliant. It's back to the player for a moment. I think it'd be phenomenal. I really do. And I know that Liverpool need 2 strikers. Of course, they wanted one anyway. And then the horrible, tragic passing of Jota. At the same time, you have to look, Liverpool have this, I don't know what they call it internally, but they have this threshold, as I refer to it. And if they might need a striker, but if a striker doesn't meet the threshold of quality they need, they look elsewhere. They look at other positions. They've always done that, Liverpool. Okay, the centre-back who's perfect, who's our dream, isn't available. We'll pivot and we'll go to the midfield and get one of our top targets. And they're not available, we'll pivot and go to one of the wings. Liverpool have done this quite consistently, especially since when Michael Edwards has been at the club in his stages. And I think they may end up doing it here. But the one thing for me is I just wouldn't underestimate Liverpool. Don't underestimate Liverpool here. Don't. At your peril. Yes, it's being played down a little bit now that it's probably only going to be Isak. Maybe it could be Barcola later on down the line. But from my point of view and from my perspective, I feel like there's some massive work still brewing for Liverpool. I'm 90% sure Alexander Isak will happen, but I wouldn't write off this deal. There's still more players that could leave, Harvey Elliott being one of them. And there's sometimes a surprise or two that leave the club. Is it Morton, one of the young players? So there's potentially another 50 or 60 million pound additional there that could also leave your club. What is the response of that going to be from everybody else, though, if Liverpool go and pull this off? Because Arsenal need to go and add more. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. They've got to go and add more. You then look at the situation with City, who've done no work since the Club World Cup. The league starts in just over a week, and they've bought their free players for that tournament, yes, and for the season, but nothing else. That seems a little bit light to me. And Chelsea, Xavi coming in, probably Garnacho. I don't think that's enough to catch Liverpool. So it's all eyes on Arsenal for me. Not looking that great in the last 2 pre-season games. Eze on the agenda. But they're going to have to act. Because this is the wild part. Liverpool are going to end up with one of those 2 brilliant players. Or someone like it. Or both. Or both. Let that sink in. Liverpool's transfer plan is wild. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribing. And we'll see you all again very, very soon.